Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction. Liverpool 7, Manchester United nil. One of the heaviest defeats United has suffered at the hands of the heaviest rivals. This was an absolute spanking. This was not even funny. The fact of the matter is Liverpool, United's greatest rivals of all time, who destroyed Man United. The decapitation and the humiliation, obliteration was just too much for Love United fans to take. Joining me today from UK is Vim. How are we, mate?
How are you guys doing? Today on this sad day, we have to live with these horrific results. How you guys doing?
Also from UK, Kay, the smiley one. Kay, welcome to the show.
Good, yeah. Seems surreal, but it is what it is.
We can see the score. And Houston's Red Army, Denver Red Army, Louis from United States. Louis, welcome to the show.
What up, Tim? What up, boys?
I can't even say happy Sunday because this is not a happy Sunday, man. This is just like
sad Sunday.
This really happy. Like I said, 2 seasons ago, we lost at home 5-0 to Liverpool under Ole. That was at home. That was bad enough. We thought, all right, we are done. To lose 7 is bad enough, but losing it to Liverpool, that now takes the bloody cake, mate. And joining me, Vim. Where do we start? Where do we start? Where did it all go wrong? The first half seemed like United were literally on top of things to a point.
Well, I think there's a number of things, right? So I think preparation was one of them. So before the interview, Klopp looked worried in his interview, and Ten Hag seemed quite upbeat. The players looked upbeat, and I think possibly that they got their preparation wrong. They probably didn't. They underestimated the pressing and aggressiveness that Liverpool can do when they're up for it, and we've seen them do it to teams. They press like they're possessed, and that's exactly what they did to us today. And I can see that. I know they've had a bad season, but when it comes to us, they pull out all the stops. So I think preparation was definitely one that, you know, we did not prepare well. We underestimated them. The boss Ten Hag underestimated them. Second thing is that I think a lot of our players look tired. I think Shaw and Delo probably had their worst games of the season because Liverpool's penetration is all about getting into the flanks around the back and crossing in. So the full backs have to protect that area, and they were off it. Luke Shaw was also being chanted at. They were calling him fat bastard in the stands. So I think they were purposely trying to get to his head, and they did. And that put him off his game. Delo was awful. He was out of position, and the centre-backs or Fred had to cover, and we were exposed on that side. Do you remember that time when Liverpool beat us 5-0, and every single goal came from the left-hand side where Luke Shaw was?
Yeah.
So that partially happened today. They deployed the same tactics. But anyway, there's lots of things and lots of areas where we got it wrong. Yeah, we just looked leggy as well.
Let me bring in Louis. Louis, this is not Hollywood. This is not a movie. This really is real. It did happen, mate.
Yeah, that fucking sucked. Yeah, there's no two ways about it, man. We definitely got it wrong. I think I would hope to think that overconfidence wouldn't affect someone like a Ten Hag, right? Maybe the players, but you would like to think that, you know, that he's going to come in a little bit more level-headed than he did. I think that he got it wrong in the lineup. I think they got it wrong in preparation. I think the subs were not good, man. I think that he subbed the players because they weren't performing, obviously, but man, he picked the wrong ones, didn't he? You know, because every time he made a sub, it just got worse from there. So yeah, it was bad, really, really, really bad day for the manager. For the players, they should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. And look, we've been talking about fatigue, and we've been talking about the run of games. And we've been talking about the pressure brought on by the media and you know, these title races and all these kinds of pressures. That's one thing. But just to get played off the park by you know, by your biggest rivals. And that's something we haven't figured out yet either, is there's still a little bit lacking in the culture and what is, you know, Manchester United. You know, we said that when we lost to Liverpool 5-1 in our own house, right? We're like, that would never happen under a Keane, under a Rooney, under someone who understands the history between Manchester United and Liverpool and understands that rivalry. And we still haven't figured it out. A lot of the players are the same players from that defeat. This should be a big occasion for us. This is one where, you know, we're looking for a loss somewhere. We know it's coming, but again, just to get played off like that and just to get utterly dismantled, they have to take a lot of responsibility and a long, hard look in the mirror before they show up to training tomorrow.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it just, to be fair, the first half wasn't that bad. We were
No,
in the game.
No, it wasn't.
Conceded possession a bit, weathered the storm, had some good chances. And then I think we got a little bit carried away thinking, oh, we can take them. They scored just before half time. It's exactly what happened. Can't remember who it was. Was it Barcelona? We conceded just before half time, and then we conceded just after half time. If I remember rightly. And
yeah,
then,
it's been a problem for us.
yeah, once we conceded that second goal, I said it in one of the groups. I said the game's done. People were like, no, it's still in. I was like, this is Anfield. Like, once you give those fans a chance to get upbeat and start shouting, you could see the players were nervous. Like, a game like that, you want someone who can get the ball. Even Casemiro, those times. Like, you got to remember, most of these players haven't played at Anfield before. So for today was a massive, like Martinez, Casemiro. They haven't played. Weghorst hasn't played there before. So, and I just think having Bruno and Anthony White killed Delo in a short game like this. You need all the help you can get from your wing backs. I mean, from your wide men. When we used to go there with Fergie, those wingers, you had to defend. You couldn't just stay up top. Like Anthony,
Anthony stayed too far up.
Bruno wasn't helping. So, sure, Delo were always going to get exposed in a game like this. So I just think we didn't set up great. Liverpool played a high line. I think Rashford playing. I think we should have kept Rashford on the left. I just thought, it was a bit of a. I think half time there should have been a change made to settle us down a little bit, because it was 1-0. It was like we felt we had to go and get that equaliser straight away, and it backfired. And after that, the players started feeling sorry for themselves, and then they just stopped running, which was unforgivable, really. So.
It seems every goal was worse than the previous one. So Gakpo scores the first goal. Okay. They know he's going to cut on his left, on his right. It goes in. So if you all remember, Bruno had that beautiful header that just missed by a few inches. Had that gone in, I think game changes. That game changes. Rashford not scoring. So we did have chances to win this game at Anfield, at least to take a score. But we didn't. Okay, Liverpool score 1-0. Okay. We said come in second half. I think it was even 5 minutes in the second half. We conceded the second one.
We conceded 2 goals in 5 minutes in the second half.
So I saw Shaw struggle for the second and third goal. He was like all over the place. I think he couldn't clear the ball. The ball came backwards. It's like every defensive error, we were penalized instantly. Vim, I mean,
I don't know
defense, why. How bad were they today?
Yeah, they suffered a lot, but I don't know why Ten Hag didn't take Shaw off. He could see he was struggling. We could all see he was struggling. Why leave him there? And what he made it worse by putting him into a centre-back position, which is even more critical, and then brings in Malacia. You should just take Shaw off. He's getting terrorised over there. Can you imagine? Like, I don't know how many Liverpool fans were in that stadium, but 50,000 plus, whatever, them laughing at you when you start conceding those goals. Can you imagine how you would feel in such a big stadium, in a hostile stadium? These guys were getting to him, singing "Fat Bastard," had too much cake, or whatever it was. I mean, it's tormenting. It's torture. You've got to save your players, take them off, get someone else fresh in there to help out. Malacia would have been, should have come in earlier in the first half. Sabitzer should have been on. When Bruno lost his head, you've got to change things around. I just think the subs got wrong. he gets them right most of the time, but today he got it badly wrong. The team suffered. You could see they'd thrown in the towel.
After,
Everyone could see it.
what goal do you think Vimo, that United has completely dropped? 2-0 or 3-0, or is it 4?
2.
Yeah, I think, conceding so quickly in the second half.
Yeah.
That was it. The floodgates opened. They had lost their composure. They'd lost their will. Liverpool were winning every single ball. We just did not have the energy. We did not have the fight. If it was a boxing match, you throw the towel in at 46 minutes.
Wow, that's shameful. So let me go to Louis. So is this that weak mentality that came back again after 2-0? Would you say the mentality was weak and cowardly to throw in the towel?
It definitely shows that we're not, it proves that we're not all the way there yet. And this is something that we've been fearing. Obviously, no one, saw it being this bad. We knew at some point late in the season we were going to run into trouble, that we were going to lose points somewhere. The same players are playing 90 minutes week in, week out. The lack of depth in key positions is, it caught up to us, and it caught up to us in a really, really, really hard way. I think you're right. I think Shaw definitely probably, should have come out earlier, but I think, from Ten Hag's view, he's looking at his back four and he's like, none of you are playing up to the standard right now. The entire back four was really, really bad. And credit to Delo a little bit. I've been online, for a while since the end of the game. And, a lot of people are talking about, oh, he's out of position. Oh, he's this and he's that. Well, he's getting double teamed and overrun constantly because they know that Anthony's not going to track back. And it quickly became a problem. And I would have liked to see it addressed way early on. I think Anthony is probably the worst player on the field today. And this is a player that I really like and I really rate. And I think he can really do great things for Manchester United. But I think that he leaves his right back exposed. I think that when you saw early in the game when Bruno's basically playing off the left, he's like drifting left and he's not playing centrally. Whitehorse drops in. You're never gonna get that support for your fullback. So now we're overrun on both sides, and it's a lack of preparation because we know that Liverpool likes to play fast. They like to play through their wingers. They want their fullbacks to play up. They haven't been doing as successful of this lately, but this is the way that they like to play. They like to get their fullbacks into the attack. They like to overwhelm the outsides and play through those wide areas. And you have to go to an Anthony and say, dude, okay, we get out of the first half 1-0, but he's dragging right now, man. He's trying to cover two people. It's not working. You have to support him. You have to get Rashford on the left because he is going to run those balls down. You have to, keep him in his preferred position as long as you have him on. The experiment of playing Bruno out of the 10, I think is over. I think we have to understand that he cannot play out of that position. He can play like a deep nine, a deep nine sometimes. He can play like a false 9, but he has to play in the middle of the field for us. He can't play on the wing. He's not going to support.
He's definitely not a winger. He's definitely not a winger. He doesn't have the strength in his legs to cross in. You saw him when he was on corner duty with Ollie's team.
Oh God,
he wouldn't even be the first man.
Play the first man.
Yeah, but they're showing
better now, Connors.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware, but Match of the Day, Kay, you probably know. It's on now, and they're showing all of the goals. They are now on goal number.
They're gonna show them all for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
Goal number 4. Anthony loses the ball just outside the Liverpool box. Some of the players start running back. He stands there, hands up.
Yeah,
does not make any effort to run back to try and recover. Absolute disgrace. And we've seen this kind of behavior with him before.
Before the game, he was extremely cocky. He was talking about I've had big games and I've had big moments and this is just another game and yada yada yada. We're like, okay, go on in there and tell me what the noise is like, buddy. Go on in there and tell me, what the atmosphere is like. Go ahead.
He doesn't have that big game mentality, does he? Because he's all about showmanship. He's all about bravado. But when we're struggling like this, he needs to really dig in, and he did not dig in. This is another thing I want to say, right? So, the front three of Liverpool, they've recruited, they've replaced Mane, they've replaced Firmino, Cody Gakpo, Nunez, and Salah, who will be going at some point. They've recruited well, and they've got Firmino on the bench. We've got 4 strikers who can cause damage. Who have we got?
All scored 2 each, and
they
the
all
sub
scored
came on.
2 each, and the sub scored. Who have we got apart from Rashford that can bang in the goals?
Nobody.
Martial injured. Who else? Weghorst
Martial injured.
doesn't really
Bruno
score. He's a
can only
number
score if he's playing centrally. He can't score off of the wing.
But
So
Bruno's a
we're only going to
midfielder.
be relying on people like
Sancho, but he's
Casemiro.
only- yeah,
No, yeah, but we've got look at our forward line. Liverpool have always had a good forward
Yes.
line with 3 players attacking all sides of the pitch. We've only got Rashford. Sancho doesn't really bang in that many goals. Anthony keeps cutting back, doesn't cross, gets a few goals now and then. Mason Greenwood is, Martial's always injured. We haven't recruited well. We haven't put the right personnel into that team to cause a lot of damage consistently. We're relying heavily on Rashford.
Right.
and even the problems surrounding Anthony just with his transfer. We overpaid for him, not because he was
grossly
working, but
overpaid.
because of our failure in our management.
Oh,
and
yeah.
our leadership. We should have got him for half
45, 50.
of what we
He's a
paid.
50, 60 million pound player.
But we sat on our hands. We decided to wait, and I mean, we are still. This is a perfect example that the old regime and the old problems are still very much alive within Manchester United, and this club cannot get sold fast enough, and these people in these management positions cannot get replaced fast enough. Casemiro did not play well. Casemiro had a bad game. Casemiro's been playing 90 minutes in, 90 minutes out. So,
he does start off slowly though. He does give the ball away a lot in the beginning, and he did that on Newcastle.
I will say this though.
Newcastle game.
I will say this though. When he came out, he needed to come out. But the problem is, Ten Hag looks towards his bench, and he says, who can I bring in? It's the same with Fred.
McTominay.
Fred being subbed for McTominay, it's like Fred had to come out. He really, really did. But you look at your bench and you go, oh, man, what is McTominay going to do against Liverpool?
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo came on.
Did
Elanga come on?
No.
No.
I think he
Elanga?
was getting ready, wasn't he? Elanga, I'm sure he came on.
Did he come on towards the end?
Yeah, I think he did.
Elanga.
He came on towards the end.
Yeah.
He did,
Right,
yeah. He came
let
on
me
for
bring
Rashford.
K in. Right. K. I mean, 3-0, 4-0.
It goes to show, it's like Anthony has to come off. Who are you going to replace him with? Sure, you could put on Sancho, but Weghorst also needs to come off because Weghorst isn't creating anything for us. He's not pressing high.
No
His
creative,
high press
nothing.
is not being successful right now. So, you have all these holes, all these problems. And at the end of the day, you're still playing every 3.5 days. So there is a long list of problems that led to this result. But ultimately, what we have to say is towards the players is we understand that, you're playing against more than just your opponent right now. But at the same time, this is Liverpool. This is Liverpool away. You're Manchester United. When you go 2-0 down, you have to be able to take a deep breath, sit in and say, okay, we've lost this game, but you have to save face. The hands going up, people not tracking back, it's a shame.
So Louis, look, second half, the second goal goes in.
Let me bring K in quickly.
I know K is on mute as well. Come on,
Right.
K.
Okay, so
He doesn't want to talk. He's on mute. So yeah,
Let him talk.
I'm not on mute. Yeah, go on.
Go on, K.
So K, as it is right now, after that performance or during that game, Was there any time United looked like they could turn this game around at all? I mean,
I said once the second goal went in, I said no way.
at
You
2-0.
could see- you could see it
Considering, you know why I love United fans? Because of the Real Madrid game. United fans were thinking, okay, oh, well, 2-0, we could always come back.
That was the worst thing. I said to people, the worst thing that could have happened to us was what Real Madrid did to Liverpool, because their pride was dented. They're
Yeah,
like a
very
wounded
much
animal.
so.
We
There's
don't even
no
have
way,
the caliber of
there's no way
players.
they were going to get steamrolled again at Anfield, especially by Man United,
Yeah.
especially with our record.
But this
there.
Liverpool side haven't been on form lately, but I mean, I get it.
We
Against
we-
United,
we-
they were
We
ready.
played them into form like we used to do with
They're
Oli.
scoring though. They beat Wolves 4-0 during the week or 2-0. But the thing with Liverpool, they'll always score. And the problem with United is we've been reliant on our defence keeping us in the game, and then we get a goal. Look at Leicester. Half time we should have been 2-0 down.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fans forget about that game. It was like, oh, we beat Leicester, but
Yeah, I remember
a
that
good
game.
team,
They
if
couldn't
that was
finish.
Liverpool on that day, we get battered like we did today. And I think the thing what Ten Hag tried to do, he tried to go man for man all over the pitch. But you got to remember, player for player, their players 1v1 are probably more clinical and going to win battles, and that's what killed us. And it just reminded me of Leeds and Bielsa. This is why Leeds got rid of Bielsa. It was a game where I think Ten Hag obviously made a mistake, but you can't go toe to toe with teams like that, especially at Anfield. You just got to sit in, weather the storm, try and nick a goal like we did against Barca. But today I think we got a bit overexcited. Liverpool are not doing well. We just won the Carabao Cup, and then we just thought, oh, they're there for the taking. But you got to respect your opposition. And obviously, it's his first game at Anfield. He'll learn from it now. Like, you can't go there and just think you're gonna get. You never get an easy game at Anfield.
No way. No matter how bad that Liverpool side is. No way.
And especially when your wingers are not tracking back. Like, your wingers have to work back and forward at Anfield. Like, you can't just relax. And if you're gonna do that, you got to play Wan-Bissaka. Like at Wembley, Anthony was doing at Wembley. He was going forward and not getting back because Wan-Bissaka came on at half time.
Yeah, that helped.
He got away with it. Whereas that Anfield, you're not gonna get away with that.
No,
like, you're not gonna get away with it, and it showed. So.
Do you think United were overconfident in this game, considering?
Naive. I think Ten Hag was naive, and then the players, they didn't work hard enough for each other, and it just became past the buck. One player made a mistake, which dragged another player out of position. Like the first goal, Anthony was so high up because he was trying to. I think it was Van Dijk who was trying to mark, and they played the ball to the wide, and instead of Delors staying where he was, Delors tried to go to the ball, which meant Fred had to drop back, and as he was dropping back, he thought he was in the right position, but Delors not tight enough. He's almost showed him, gave him time to see the pass. Fred doesn't know what's behind him because he's not a fullback. The ball's gone in, and before you know it, 1-0.
They set a trap on us. They set a trap on us. So they set a trap on us, like what Ten Hag would normally do with Ajax. They set traps on us. Yeah. So they dragged Delors out of position, which left a massive gap behind him, and Fred just wasn't able to cover it.
Delors is doing what Fernandes used to do. When Fernandes used to press on his own, you leave gaps. You can't just press on your own. Like if you're going to go to the ball, make sure behind you is secure. You can't just go forward.
But what you said,
if you stay where you are, he's got to come past you. I always say it to kids when I coach football. If the ball's in front of you and you're next to your man, they've got to beat you. If you run forward and you leave a gap, that leaves a space for someone to run into.
So that means then the midfielder or Anthony should be doing that pressing where Delors was doing it.
Yeah,
he was getting dragged out of position because the people in front weren't doing it.
Anthony was pressing the full the centre back. I think it was Van Dijk at the time, but because we were in unison, and the thing is at Anfield, you can't just go pressing aggressively. No, like, for me, it's dangerous to do that, and it showed today.
And they overload the width, so they were overloading Luke Shaw's side, and they were overloading
the low side.
The low side, and this is how they were getting through to us.
And you gotta
And
remember
I don't
those,
think
those
Ten
two
Hag
fullbacks,
knew how to counter it at the
those two
time.
fullbacks one-on-one against Salah and Gakpo or Nunes, they're not the ones that you say in a battle. I would never think they're going to win the battle. If 10 one-on-ones, I think they're more likely going to lose those. So for me,
I don't know what you think, what you guys think, but in that situation, I'd probably want to overload the midfield, maybe play 4-5-1.
Yeah.
You got to pack the midfield.
Well, they still played like they were in the game, but it's like they still kept on trying to. I don't know what United were trying to do. Even at 3-0 down, I would have thought, all right, keep it tight. Let's shut this game down. They started conceding more and more.
It was City all over again. It was almost like, let's get a goal to at least make it look a little bit better. But
yeah,
you can't do that. You can't do that. Well, where we've been this season, sometimes you just. I remember Fergie used to do it, or other teams used to do it. You 2-0 down, 3-0 down, shut up shop, damage limitation. Ten Hag learned today. You can't just go trying to. We were never going to win that game once it went to 2-0.
Gakpo's second goal was very, very smartly intelligent goal he scored, that second one. Yeah.
It was very good.
At that point, the defense was Martinez trying to give way for Shaw, and it just went. It's like I couldn't. Everything is now like a blur. It's just like a blur now. It's like I can't even remember how the goals were going in because they were just so frequent. Like every 7 minutes, we're like a goal down. It's like more and more and more and more. I couldn't wait for the game to end. I took 4-0, done. But 5 and 6.
I just kept waiting for the next Liverpool goal to come in, and I kept saying, okay, when's number 3 going to happen? When's number 4 going to happen? When's number 5 going to happen? And it kept on happening. I didn't know it was going to go as high as 6, but I also said at 2-0 it was game over as well. That's why I felt.
Well, Louis, was De Gea fault for any of these goals at all?
I would say the only one that I would say was probably like 100% his fault was the last goal, the 7th goal. The defense is all out of position already, but he's weirdly kind of like drawn towards like one corner of his goal down really early, and they kind of, they're able to is that Firmino, right? He kind of like does like the half turn and like smashes it back. So maybe that one. But the worst part about today is what we had feared was like those moments of capitulation, right? So we've gone down, and now the communication breaks down, the shape breaks down, the team breaks, right? Heads drop, and nobody can be asked to fucking come back in and try to do anything. We thought we were past that moment. We knew we were going to lose games, but we never thought that we would get so disjointed from each other that we would get, smacked by a Brentford, a Brighton, right? These games where we were going for one and these kinds of things. We thought that we were past that. And clearly there's still key missing pieces.
Right.
Because, Casemiro couldn't pull the team back today.
No.
Right? Martinez,
it was beyond him.
They couldn't lead the team to be a cohesive unit very, very quickly. I don't, and look, even David De Gea, who is definitely a leader on this team, he's, probably the longest standing player on the team now, couldn't pull it back together. And that is the biggest fear, right? The biggest fear is that, we lose confidence in each other as a team. And then you have more results like this. Now it's about turning it around. How you do that is Ten Hag's burden, unfortunately. And look, everybody believes in him. He's had an amazing start to his time at Old Trafford. He's done, he's already gone above and beyond winning a trophy in his first year. A lot of people wouldn't have expected, or, a lot of people still won't even give him credit for. So there's, if anyone can do it, if anybody can pull this off, it's him, but he does need those key pieces, especially in the summer. We need to get rid of the dead weight. This type of defeat is what you have to avoid at all costs.
Right.
One thing I was going to say, I don't think David De Gea is a leader. I I think he stands too much on his line. He doesn't come out.
Here we go with the
and
agenda. I'm just kidding.
Eh? The what?
I said, here we go with the agenda, but I'm
There's
just,
no agenda. I just
I'm
don't
just messing
think
with
he's an amazing shot stopper, but I don't think he commands that box. I saw today all the times that Robertson and Trent were crossing the ball in, he would just stay on his line. He needs to come out and collect it. He's leaving it for his defenders to deal with.
True.
Whereas the best keepers in the league, they come out and grab that ball and they command that 6-yard box. He doesn't do it, and I don't see him shouting at his defenders
No,
a
don't.
lot. You see it a little bit, not a
never
lot.
been
You know,
like
he's not an aggressive keeper, and he's not very commanding. I don't think he's a leader. I think he's
But you
too
know what-
too
you
passive.
know what-
Let me bring in Richard quickly. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hi guys, you all right?
I haven't seen you in a long time. Actually, Happy New Year, mate. Is it?
Yeah, I don't think I might have joined in January, but yeah, it's been a
Right.
long time. Yeah, nice
Slide
see
to
you
your
guys.
right a bit. Slide to your right a bit. There
that
you
better?
go. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, no one saw this coming. Do you think it was an overconfidence, naivety, poor defending? What was your take on this whole game? Come on up. I mean, 7-0.
7-0. I wasn't nobody was expecting that, but there was signs in the first half where I thought, okay, something might happen here, and the commentator picked up on it when Varane started holding, I think it was his groin or something in the first half. Did you see it? And Gary Neville said he looks injured, so he looks like he's struggling.
Yeah,
And then I was like,
before the game.
Casemiro too.
Casemiro. No, sorry, I meant Casemiro. Sorry, I'm talking about
Varane
Casemiro.
definitely had a late fitness test before the game, so he wasn't.
Yeah. Varane had a late fitness test. I'm talking about Casemiro. Yeah, thanks for correcting me on that. Yeah, so Casemiro. There's a point where the camera zoomed in on Casemiro and he was hobbling, was holding his groin. I was like, okay, we might be in for a long day here, and we were just outplayed, outfought, everything. We were just embarrassed completely. But I'm sorry to single out players, but my biggest problem today was the leadership. And it starts with Bruno Fernandes, right? Bruno Fernandes, if you look at some of the goals that were conceded, it started from his poor passing. So it's him giving away the ball in the final third, which led to Liverpool counter-attacks. I think that happened on at least 3 or 4 occasions. And my biggest annoyance with Bruno Fernandes is when he loses the ball, he holds his hands up, or he starts blaming other teammates. That's not captain material. Fair enough, he's been on decent form, when things are going well. But when the going gets tough, this is when we need to see the real characters. And from what I'm hearing, he wanted to come off the pitch. I don't think Bruno was injured. Maybe he was tired, but I don't think he was injured. Bruno doesn't get injured. So him wanting to come off the pitch, again, is another example of why I don't think that Bruno is the long-term captain. He's too erratic. He's very emotional. We need somebody like Varane, who's calm and collected with that armband.
Do you not think Varane is too quiet?
I've seen him in the French dressing room. They've shown clips of Varane giving team talks before the game. He's won everything.
He just seems very quiet. He seems very quiet on the pitch. Doesn't say much. Doesn't look like he's saying much. Martinez is a lot more vocal. So is Casemiro.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, you don't need to be. I
think you need a vocal captain. You need a vocal captain.
You need to be vocal, but it's not about who's the loudest on the pitch.
Valencia wasn't vocal.
Messi, he's the captain of Argentina.
David Beckham wasn't vocal when he was at United.
Yeah, there's loads of captains, Vim, that I can show you that are not the loudest on the pitch.
Yeah, I know, but I think sometimes when the chips are against you, you need a captain that's going to say, "Come on, guys, let's."
Varane talks a lot,
Right. He does. Yeah,
Varane is vocal though. I think Varane's vocal.
He's organising his defence.
Yeah.
I think what Bruno,
which is what Maguire would never do.
I think what Bruno brings as a captaincy is maybe he does whine a little bit too much to the ref sometimes. And it annoys me, definitely. But look, today is.
So Richard, have you met Louis? Meet Richard. I think you guys have never been on the same. Louis from Houston and Denver Red Army out here.
Yeah,
Richard's in England.
I mean, Bruno is someone that works for us. Okay, he works extremely, extremely hard for us. He had a horrible game today. He's been playing every 90 minutes. He's one of those players who's been playing every 90 minutes for the last 3 months straight.
He's logged the most minutes for the whole season.
beyond worn, and as we were saying before you jumped on, my man, playing him out of position exposes him, and I think it frustrates him. And I mean, look, it definitely doesn't play to his strengths, but we're coming off of a season where no one worked for each other. You know, if we ran into 3-0 down, 4-0 down, 5-0 down games a year ago, you don't get the work rate out of any of these players. And I think that is something that Ten Hag wanted to address immediately coming into Old Trafford. We have not seen a game this season where, we stopped working. And we've had wins that we did not deserve. Either we were drawn or either we were behind and we came back and won.
Right.
Not because of the beautiful football that we were playing, but just because we were gritty. Because, we put in the work and we turned it around. And Bruno's been an incredible part of that. I don't think you strip the captaincy off of this game. However, you do, probably need a bit of the old Alex Ferguson hairdryer effect, and you need to get in somebody's face and you need to yell at him and be like, look, we understand that you've been playing a shit ton. We rely on you heavily, but at the same time, this is Manchester United, and you can't capitulate a game like that. You can't.
Lewis, can I ask you a question though? Can I ask you a serious question? Like, I get that Bruno has been instrumental, but in a Ten Hag system, is Bruno really the player that you want as the focal point? He gives away possession cheaply, right? If you want to be a possession-based team, right? If you want to dominate and control games from start to finish, is Bruno really that number 10 that you rely on to do that? I don't think he is.
He has been.
I think.
Why do you think Ten Hag
definitely
so
has
much?
been, and I think there's missing pieces in the midfield that Ten Hag is trying to fill. Right? We all know that he really, really wants like a Frankie de Jong type character. When we're talking about trying to play 60-70% possession of the football, I don't think Bruno Fernandes is the worst in that midfield at giving up the ball. Not when you have a Fred, not when you have a McTominay, in these types of characters. No, I don't think Bruno is necessarily the problem.
McTominay doesn't start every game.
I think he really gives the ball away more when he's in the wings and he's not.
Yeah, playing him on the right. I've never understood the right wing putting Bruno there.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
But guys, look, I get that Bruno has a lot of fans and he works hard and stuff. But if you look at his stats, right, for number 10, if you compare them against other number 10s, yes, he does get a high amount of assists. But his pass completion rate is lower than those other so-called number 10s. It's in the 70% mark, 70, I think he averages per season. So even when he was played in his preferred position, he was only averaging about 76% pass rate.
This is a type of player that you want to be able to leave high and have a solid box-to-box 8 that facilitates those balls into your 10, who can create those high assist numbers. That's what he's looking to do. He's not looking.
I think he poses a tactical headache because yes, he gets the assist, but he's often out of position. If you look at his positional play, last season especially, he was near the number 9 mark. He was playing near the striker, and he was leaving a big gap in midfield.
But Richard, do you not think that the team have looked at all of his stats? Why do you think he's being played so much? He's looking up the most minutes than anyone else.
Yeah, he's got energy. He's got desire. He's got passion. He can get assists. No one's taking that away from Bruno. He's got a lot of good attributes. But
it's kind of the most important part is create goals for us and score.
We win a lot of games with him, and he makes some incisive passing that
from start to finish. From start to finish, we don't control games with Bruno in midfield. Right. I've been saying it for the longest period. Tim, you know this in the group. I've been saying this for a long time now.
Yeah. You've always said
I've been quite consistent.
He's reckless with his passing. We get that.
He tries a lot.
So let me bring in Kenneth. Ken, welcome to the show.
Hello. How's it going, guys?
All right. On this bad memorable night
yes.
in our football history and heritage, we're discussing the capitulation and destruction by Liverpool, 7-0 at Anfield, which is no one anticipated this. I would have taken 2-0 defeat, but 7, it just it just makes you realize we are not even there to live. What Liverpool did today just show like, listen, yeah, you Carabao Cup, we won that, but when it comes to Anfield, you're not on our level. That's what they showed today. And the defense literally just caved in after the second and third. It just got worse and worse and worse. So, Richard, I'm gonna go back to you quickly. What could the defense have done differently after as the goals kept coming? What could they have done differently?
You know, just call it a day. Say it's a bad day in the office. Shut up shop. Park the bus. Defend.
At what nil would that be?
Defend.
2-0, 3-0?
3-0. You know, no, actually, yeah, 3-0. Keep the score down at that point, because 3-0 at Anfield, you're not going to come back and win. No chance.
No way.
So,
but the funny thing, a lot of United fans were still thinking they could come back at 3-0.
No, at Anfield. No, just
Real Madrid. We're not Real Madrid.
No, exactly.
That Real Madrid victory gave a lot of United fans optimism that if
remember,
Real Madrid could do it, so can we.
They got Benzema, they got Vinicius. We ain't got no one like them guys. We're nowhere near. This is what I said to people.
They got Modric as well.
Champions League, it's a good job we weren't in the Champions League this season, because all our inadequacies would have got shown up. Like, you got to remember, Weghorst was a free. He's doing a job, but he's not someone that needs to be starting for you. Then you've got the midfield, Frankie De Jong with a Casemiro or an Eriksen, amazing. But you got to remember, we're playing players that are squad players. So once you've got Weghorst and Fred there, and then, to be fair, I think Fred should have stayed on. Like bringing on McTominay and Garnacho on, that killed us.
He killed us.
Weghorst and Fred are the most hardest working players on the pitch.
On the pitch, yes.
And then they took them off. I was like, wow, and it just
But then we just capitulated.
And it was 3-0.
So Kenneth,
3-0 when they went off.
Right. So Kenneth, the defending today, that defense, could the United defense have done more? The Gea, could he have done what could have the back four done differently this time?
Well, there's a history behind that defense. This is not the first. I was speaking to Rich earlier today. This is not the first time this has happened. Every time one of our defenders makes a mistake, it's like a pack of cards. Everything just collapses. There's all domino effect. Brentford, same thing. One mistake, 4 goals. City, same thing. 1 mistake, 6 goals. Aston Villa, 1 mistake, 3 goals. Arsenal, 1 mistake, 3 goals. It's just, and today 1 mistake or 1 mistake and then seven goals. It's a pattern, isn't it? It's like the guys are just not resilient enough to say, you know what, we've made a mistake. Heads up, let's keep going. The only time we seem to come back is when teams score a good goal against us without a mistake, and then we're like, okay, we're in for it now. But as soon as one mistake goes in, the second mistake, especially the second mistake, it's like, let's just go home. This is ridiculous. So, like I was saying to Rich as well, and I was saying in the group, heads need to roll for this. We've sacked enough managers. We've got a good manager now. Everyone in this call knows that we've got a good manager. This is not acceptable. Like, you can't lose 7-0 to your biggest rivals. If this was against Spurs or maybe
exactly,
even Arsenal, even I don't know, Chelsea.
Liverpool, it just has a different. It has a different meaning to it.
Yeah. Kenneth, who do you think should be sacked?
It has to be Bruno. Bruno at this point.
That's harsh.
That is harsh, my friend.
I think you're wrong, boys.
No, carry on, Ken. Explain.
Let's see this. So,
Vim, let's look at the Barcelona game. Where was Bruno? But the thing is, Bruno will step up and he'll give a through ball, an assist, and someone scores, and then we'll go, oh yeah, he had an assist. But he hasn't played well at all.
Exactly.
He's not playing well.
Thanks for creating goals.
So you guys think that he should be sold?
I don't think. No, I don't think. I think that's a bit extreme. But
sacking means removal, right?
No, I think it should be benched.
Bench.
Yeah.
Benched.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with bench. But you said
sacked. Benched. And bring in who plays in his position then?
The problem, we haven't got strength in numbers, so we can't replace.
Yeah, that's a great question.
So who comes up for Bruno?
No one.
I would say at this season,
no.
This season we don't. But
oh hell no, mate.
If we can get Frankie De Jong, right? We get Frankie De Jong. I will
So
actually
now-
play Frankie.
wait. So now you have to get Frankie De Jong in order to drop him. So how is he the overlying problem? If you can't drop him
Because there's no competition.
because of how good he is.
No, it's not because
The
of how
only way that you can drop him is by bringing in another player.
No, it's because there's no competition for him.
That's
Bruno
not a
knows.
problem.
Bruno knows he's starting on Thursday. He's thinking I'm starting on Thursday. He's thinking I'm starting the weekend after. He's thinking I'm starting every single
He
game.
knows he's starting.
He knows he's starting. Someone like what's his name? Fred knows that. Ooh, okay, someone's coming back. If I need to play well because what's his name? Ericsson's going to be back next season. Luke Shaw knows if I don't play well, Malacia is there. Dalot knows that if I don't play well, Wan-Bissaka is there. You know, so we need competition. Bruno
So we need
does
another
not have
attacking
any
10.
You know, Ericsson can play there.
Ericsson
I
was
prefer
doing it.
Ericsson.
Ericsson doesn't
Bruno.
have the same level of
Ericsson doesn't
intensity.
have that stamina or that.
But
That's
I don't
why
know,
you need
that's
to get
completely
Frankie.
different
That's why you need
players.
to get Frankie. If you can get Frankie and play Frankie and Casemiro and then play Ericsson there and then let Bruno compete with Ericsson. Because let's look at it. Look at Bruno. I mean, he's a number 10, right? There's a reason why ETH shifts him to the right, to the left. He doesn't really play number 10 these days because he's just not good at it. He's not.
Yes,
He's not.
thank you.
That's not true. That is not true. That is not true. That's complete rubbish. He
Explain.
gets
Carry
shifted
on.
to the side.
Okay.
He gets shifted
Vin,
to the
carry on.
side
Look
because
at-
he's
Let
being a
Ken explain.
utility
Vim,
player.
come on,
I'll
Vim.
explain
Ken
as well.
explain because-
I'll explain as well.
Let me get Vim to rebuttal what Kenneth and
Yeah,
Richard
go
are
on.
saying. Vim, what are you saying?
He's not being shifted to the side because he's useless at number 10. He's getting shifted to the side because he's becoming a utility player in many places on the pitch. This guy comes back in defense and picks up the ball. He's helping out left back, right back. This guy can play everywhere on the pitch. I know he's.
That's
I
not
know
a good sign.
No,
A
but
number
he's
10 should
puts in
not
the
be a
work rate.
utility player. He's not.
No, but
he's
he
not a
can
Parky
be.
son.
What did Wayne Rooney do when he played for
Okay.
us? He was all over the pitch.
Yeah, but a
Bruno
specialist
emulates
number
that type of work rate.
a specialist player.
Let Vim
specialist number
finish.
10
Richard,
should
you
not
can
be.
rebuttal him. Vim,
Yeah,
finish
okay.
off.
Well, I mean, we can make this a debate. I don't mind. But I think Bruno's work rate is probably one of the best in the team. The guy does not get injured. He gets the most minutes in the team. Ten Hag values him. He doesn't get shifted to the side because he's not a good number 10. I agree we need another backup number 10 because that guy is getting overused too much.
Agreed.
But Vim, do you know why he gets shifted to wide? Because he doesn't keep the ball enough.
Exactly.
I accept he needs to improve.
That's why
hazard.
he's wide.
I accept
why
he
he
needs to
has it.
improve it. Yes, but
if
he
you
has
leave
the
it wide,
vision.
It's not as dangerous.
But
Yeah,
he's
but he
still
has the
costing us
vision that
goals
other
as
players
well.
do not.
Yeah,
He has the
I
vision that
get
other
that.
players do not. He can
So-
make those
so
passes that we
as
don't
it
even
stands
see.
now, he has the best midfield vision in the front line, going not from the back, from the front, able to spring that pass to the strikers. I get it, but if we go backward now, I mean, last season, forget last season, it was the same. I think sometimes he plays too forward and doesn't stay in his 10, and he's competing with the number 9 at times. But going
Yes.
to number 7, I don't think you're going to get much from him on the right because
No.
he hasn't got the place to. Because what he's doing is crossing in from any position he's on the right, just sending crosses down the box. But that's not the best position for him. But
No.
overall today, I think every player out there needs to look at themselves and say, you know what,
Yes.
they were absolutely
Definitely.
abysmal. I'm trying to think like who stood out. There's no standout
No
there, none.
No one.
I gave a 0 for the whole team, a 0. And people like Bems gave minus 500. Now that's another extreme.
Gave who? 500?
You all know Bems. You need to watch. You need to
Who
watch
did he
what
give him
he said.
500 to?
He went off.
Minus
He literally
500.
went off. And he said, I need to ask you guys a question. And I'm going to ask the question. He said, ask them if United are still in the title race.
No,
No,
Louis.
they're definitely out now.
not
No
anymore.
chance. No chance.
Mathematically,
No, hold
yeah,
on, hold
sure.
on, hold on. No, Rich, what happened, Rich? We're not on this one. So, a few weeks ago, everyone said United was in the title race, except Bems. So now Bems, he's so upset. He was literally just effing and blinding on the match reaction after because he was on the fan reaction 1. He went on and he just went off. He gave the team minus 500 for performance today. He said, I need to ask anyone who was there from the last time when he was on it, who believes United still in. So I'm going to start with that same question. Louis, United still in the title race. after today, after the 7-0?
Mathematically speaking, the answer is yes. It's possible, and that's what I told him when he was on the show. I was like, yeah, it's possible. The problem with Bems is he's just so pessimistic and he hates sunshine and happiness and rainbows.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. United's in the title race after today.
I think
You
we're
can't
still
say
in
it's
power
not
range,
possible.
but
It's just not probable.
I'm not convinced we're going to win it because we're trying to go FA Cup in Europa. You can't, with that team we've got, you can't go for all of those things. You got like Jose did. You got to sacrifice him. I know Ten Hag wants to win everything, but I just feel like we'll probably finish third, and maybe the FA Cup or the Europa League. But we're not gonna win the league now. You got to remember, our squad is too thin to go for the league anyway. Let alone all 3 competitions. It's not sustainable.
Richard, United's in the league title.
No
Or
chance.
were they ever in the league title, in your opinion?
I didn't think they was going to win the league now. No. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if we win another trophy. I think that's fair. And get top 4. But start the season, if somebody said top 4 on the trophy, I would have been happy with that. But we're not in the title race because we're not quite good enough. We don't have the depth in the squad to actually be in the title race. When the first 11 is replaced by the second 11, the drop-off is quite clear. So, no, we're not in no title race.
Ken, after today.
Yeah, I've had I speak to Rich about this. I've had a very bad weekend of football. Yesterday, praying for Arsenal to before the game, we thought, this is a short bank of Arsenal. It's going to be 3 points, 3-0 up at halftime, game done. But then 1-0 to Bournemouth. They're going to come back. 2-0, you're like, okay, this is good. And then 2-1. 2-2, you're like, come on, please hang on. And then literally the last kick of the game. Because I was thinking, if Arsenal lost that game and we maybe we get a draw today. Even if Arsenal drew yesterday and we drew today, we're still kind of in it, right? But then Arsenal won. And then we got embarrassed today. So we're definitely
Our goal difference has literally disappeared, I suppose.
It's just, the
Vim,
league's gone.
Let me go to Vim. Vim?
Yeah. So,
Is
Bems can rest easy now because his prophecies come true. We are not going to be winning this title race, so he can rest easy. Because I know he was quite anxious that, no, we're not going to win it. He was trying to convince all of us that we're not going to win it.
Yeah, instead of blaming Bruno or Anthony, let's all come together and blame Bems, please.
Because he did say, you see, Bems apologized last week when we won the Carabao Cup. He made a statement that he said United would never win a trophy under Ten Hag, under the
Glazers' ownership. Yeah.
And we won the Carabao Cup. So he was man enough to say, you know what, I put my hand up. I was sitting 2 seats beside him, man. He was 2-0. He just went quiet. He was in shock. He literally was in shock. We didn't expect to lose this badly. Yeah. I said, I know Anfield is a tough place to go. I get it.
He should be careful what he wishes for.
Yeah, but Tim, it's not like we got absolutely hammered from the first. After the first 15, 20 minutes, it was all backs against the wall. But after that, we came into the game.
Yeah, we had chances. Bruno missed a chance.
That header Bruno missed, I think would have changed the game.
And the Rashford one as well.
Who do you think was better in the first half?
Bruno missed. Weghorst had one that he missed.
Yeah. But quick question:
who had several chances in the first half?
And Rashford had the chance that he should have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The quick question, because Gary Neville and Co were discussing this. Who do you think was the better team in the first half?
Liverpool.
I think it was.
I think kind of nearly 50-50. We had the better chances.
But I think it was tight. I think it was maybe just us by about 5%. It wasn't like one-sided.
At the end of the first half, Liverpool had 60% possession, but we had more shots on target.
Yes,
on target. Yeah, they didn't have a shot on target
in the first half, and
they scored,
and they capitalized, and that's the difference, right? And that's, I think, why a lot of heads did drop, because Weghorst has been doing everything in his power to score a goal. He still hasn't scored one. It went straight into the keeper.
But I mean, his work rate was good, wasn't it, Weghorst? The guy was
Yeah, in
tracking
the
back.
first half,
He was
in the first
breaking up
half.
some.
And that's what he
come off
offers
that.
for us, right? Like he's like
No, but he
he's a
was breaking
big,
up a lot of play.
hard-working
I
physical
noticed that
presence.
a
He's just
lot more
not
than
good enough to
Rashford.
score.
A lot more than Rashford. He was breaking up plays.
He's
So-
just
so-
a
so-
he was
McTominay.
going
He's just
deep
a
into
McTominay, man.
midfield.
Yeah,
So
Rashford,
should
Rashford
just
was a
strike
bit
up.
lost today.
Let one person finish. So, Louis, what we finish what you were saying.
I was just saying, like, Weghorst is clearly, you know, that big physical presence in the midfield. He's going to break up plays. He's going to, you know,
Did you
play
say
a high
midfield?
line.
He's his
But,
number 10, isn't he?
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
thought
number
in
10
the
now.
first half,
as a number 10,
he harassed the Liverpool defenders.
yeah, he
And,
can't keep the ball for us. We know he's not going to keep the ball for us. If he gets a good shot on target, it's because he has tons of time and space, and you know he needs to take that good first touch, set it up correctly, nice and shiny to smack it. He can't score a goal in the run of play, right?
Right.
He can't do something overly creative for us. I mean, look, at the end of the day, love his attitude. Absolutely love his attitude. You're a Burnley player, man. Sorry. You're a Burnley player.
So I'm gonna go around and ask which was the worst goal we conceded. Louis, one of the 7. Which was the worst goal?
Man,
I know there's so many.
I would say
They were
I
all
would say
bad.
the fourth. I would say the fourth goal. 2 reasons. 2 reasons I say the fourth goal. Number one, it's probably Anthony's fault because he I don't know.
Was that the one Salah scored when he hit that
Right.
ball?
that was number 4. That was a joke.
So Anthony dives into the ball, completely misses it. Very embarrassing. And then Salah just buries it. I mean, absolutely, hits the crossbar, goes in, smashes it, and he broke Fowler's all-time goal record for Liverpool.
Was that the one we conceded from a corner?
And
Is
That was goal
pissed
number
me
4,
off.
yeah.
The fact that we allowed Salah 2 goals to achieve that record against us, you know, knowing the history, knowing the culture, knowing the background. And I mean, and he rips his shirt off and he's running around on his lap of honor, just rubbing it in. That for me was really, really just bad. However, Cody Gakpo absolutely disrespected De Gea with that cheeky chip, man, side net.
Yeah, that was a good finish.
Beautiful from him. But fuck him because he should be playing for United. He can go to hell.
Okay, which of the goals was the worst one United conceded in your opinion?
I think it was the one, is it the 5th or the 6th? The one where Luke Shaw's kicked it against one of their players and it's a tapping.
Yeah, that was the
that's
second
right.
year, wasn't it?
First goal, right?
I think it was
Second.
the 6th one.
Was it the 6th?
Yeah, it was
The one where the ball came off his thigh. Was it that one?
Nah,
when
there's
he-
another one where he should have
Okay.
ricocheted it.
Right, I think that was yeah.
And the guy
yeah,
I think it was number 6.
Was that goal number 13 or goal number 14? I can't remember.
This is how bad it is, you know.
All
It's
right.
just, we don't even know.
So many
Richard,
freaking goals, man.
Richard, what was the worst one for you, Richard?
I don't know. They're all merged into one. They're all bad. I think that the goal, what Kay was saying, where it ricocheted off Luke Shaw, I don't know, and I don't know who scored. It all blurred. It was all a blur to me.
Yeah, I'm like Rich. Yeah, I switched off after the third goal actually. But what I think the annoying part was because you've seen a few 6-0s, 5-0s, but you haven't seen 7-0s in. I mean, when was the last time we saw a 7-0 scoreline?
Never
Right,
forget.
1931.
1931.
No, I mean for any club, not just United. Any club. I think we've.
Wasn't it last season? Didn't somebody get stomped on 9-0, 9-1? Who is that?
Oh yeah, Southampton. Yeah, that was Southampton.
Yeah. Come on, man. We're not the worst. We're like the second worst. Come on.
Yeah,
Vim,
and to let sorry,
worst goal.
just to add. No, I was just gonna add. Sorry, Tim.
Right.
I think one of my worst ones has to be the last one. Firmino, the guy that hasn't scored it.
Really took the
Hasn't scored the goal.
And he's leaving the club as well.
And he's leaving the club.
And he's leaving the club. We send him off with that. Come on, man. Come on. I remember when Steven Gerrard was leaving his last game and Stoke City said, "Oh, we got something for your ass. You know, we'll send you off the proper way." And it was 6-1. I remember so vividly. I cheered every single goal, ran around my living room. And we have a player like, you know what I mean? Just come on, man. You just made it a beautiful day for Salah. You made it a beautiful day for Firmino. It's
For all of them.
They had all the strikers scored 2 each.
Oh, 2
And
each,
the
yeah.
bonus.
Nunez
Yeah.
put one right over the top in the first half. It was he put it in towards the box. It was like maybe chest height, and he like jumps and skies it over the crossbar. And I was like, that's Nunez. He misses. He's not going to be a problem for us today. Put it over the back of the goal. You know, kicked it into row Z, and I was like, that sums up Nunez.
It's
give
funny.
that player 2 goals. To give
It's
the
funny
player
you say
2,
that. Yeah.
you know what I
Richard,
mean?
Rich and I have been dissing this guy for like
Nunez.
almost
I think-
every week.
So
I
let me
think
go
you
to
said
Vim
he-
quickly. Vim,
He
what was
comes
your
and
worst
does
goal
that.
out of this one?
Yeah, no, I think you guys say you didn't want to buy Nunez and perhaps Cody Gakpo as well, but look at the damage they've
Yeah.
done. Anyway,
No.
the goals that were unforgivable and appalling were goals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
It's
All of them.
symbolic.
Shocking.
But Cody Gakpo, I think he's
That
not a bad player.
second goal was class.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't think he's a bad player because he
No, he's
recovers
not
the
a bad
ball.
player. He's not a
He's
bad
got
player.
good turn. He's got good shot. He can shoot with both feet. I think we should have got him, and I don't know why we didn't get him. I think Ten Hag probably
Got no
cooled
money.
interest on him.
Because we
The money-
spent
how much was he? 30,
We got
40
no,
million?
we got no money.
40?
That's why we got Weghorst on a free.
We haven't got any money, that's why.
Yeah, well,
That's
that's
why.
the thing is like we spent double on Anthony when we shouldn't have. You know, we
It's a
spent
ten-
money poorly, and that's the thing. Like this is, and again, like it goes down to the ownership, and then the managers and the management that they've appointed. It goes to Richard Arnold and those guys, because the way that they've spent money, the way that they wait too long in transfer windows, or try to try to get bargain deals that other teams come in and swoop in the players that we want. It comes into the leadership again, and it's that sickness and that systemic problem that keeps Manchester United where it is. And you know, people kept saying, you know, Ten Hag wouldn't win anything, or that we wouldn't win anything under the Glazers, because this is a recurring problem for
The thing is, though, if we're short of money, why are we spending so much on a single player, i.e. Anthony?
No, that's the thing, is we're not short of money.
Well,
It's the way we're
but
spending.
We're short of money. This is what I was
Why-
saying to you. With Ronaldo, there was an agenda to get him out. Remember, this guy was taking almost 600k a week. Like, this goes back to why they wanted him out. Because
this
we've
is
got
not a
no
shortage
money.
of money. This is a management issue.
But Ten Hag wanted Anthony, right?
Yeah,
Ten
but
Hag
he
wanted
He wanted
Anthony.
Anthony. He
overpaid.
didn't want him for 80 million. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, he wanted him earlier. Yes.
Let me rephrase.
He did want it for earlier.
This is a board
Yeah.
issue, right? I'm not blaming the manager, Ten Hag. I'm saying the upstairs management.
Yeah, we could have potentially got him for
board
cheaper
management.
if they
The
went.
way
So
that
let me-
financial officers are making deals and I wanted Anthony too. I still rate Anthony. I think Anthony is a great player. I think he had a shit day. I think he's worth about half of what we paid for him.
Yeah,
And
he's worth
you know
half,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like we waited so long to pay for him that Ajax were like, "Hey, we're done selling players. We've sold enough. We need to think about next season. And if you want them, you can have them, but you got to pay. You got to pay."
Yeah,
for 'em.
that was the problem there. So let me ask you this. So today, what happened to Casemiro? Why was Casemiro not involved, or was it the atmosphere that he's never played the Anfield
Injured.
before?
I mentioned
Injured.
He's been
Richard
playing
said-
90 minutes a game for every 3.5 days.
He's had an
I
injury.
think
No, he was
the way
injured.
he plays,
So you think Casemiro was injured?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, the
high
first
He was
half.
grimacing. He was grimacing in the
Fatigue,
first
injury, it's all of
18
that.
minutes or something like that.
You gotta
Yeah.
remember the way he plays the game.
Guys, I need to
is
leave in about 5
100%.
minutes. I've got a meeting early tomorrow morning, so I'll be heading off soon. But
No worries, man.
Like, he's not a player that can play within himself. And when you're playing every 3 days, you got to remember Wembley. I said it to people. Wembley is a big pitch. It's sapping. Like, that would have took a lot out of our players as well. And then playing midweek.
And Ten Hag has to look at his bench and go, okay, well, you know, Casemiro's been playing so much. Who do I replace him with? Scooby Doo. Ain't gonna happen.
the Scottish lad.
So it still comes down to the lack of depth in the squad. It comes down to that.
That's how you win a league,
Yeah,
though, isn't
exactly.
it? You can't win a league with a squad.
Yeah,
So,
makes
Yeah, but
sense.
as
but
it is
Arsenal are
now,
managing to do
are
it.
Arsenal winning the league title?
Oh,
So
Guess
it's-
what?
Well,
Look at where Arsenal
Arsenal
put their
win the
money,
league.
though. Arsenal
Look,
don't-
What's his name?
Oh, the
When
one
they
at a
go
time, one
in
at
the
a time, one
Europa
at a time.
League, the Europa League, they'll be found out. because I'll be playing Thursday to Sunday. So Arsenal, I don't think they'll win. Have you seen
I
that
think
fixture list in
Arsenal will
April?
deliberately get knocked out of the Europa to concentrate on the Premier League. I think Arteta's going to do that. Like, you know, I don't need Europa League. I'm just going to go for the league title now, so they'll have no distraction.
Yeah, but
I
he'll
think
be
they'll do
stupid
that.
to do
Watch.
that. He'll be stupid to do that. Do you know why? Because they've
Why?
never won a European trophy apart from the old cup.
He won the league. They won the league title. They don't care. They won the league title. They've not won it since 2004. This is 19 years
He'll
ago.
be remembered for winning the league title, not Europa League.
Exactly. The league title means a
biggest thing
lot
is that
than the Europa
Arsenal-
League. You see what I mean?
Arsenal have put money into the club, into the support staff. And that was the biggest difference when Arteta came in. All the positions that we cry about and that we whine about that are vacant in Manchester United, Arsenal filled those positions. Their team, you know, they do stay fit a little bit longer. You know, they do, you know, they have, you know, they're able to rotate players a little bit better because of what they have built behind the scenes at Arsenal.
Right.
And I think that if they want to win Champions Leagues and things like that, they do have to invest a little bit more in the roster, in the lineup. But they're not
quality.
They're not playing in dilapidated conditions in their training ground. Like the Emirates ain't falling
It's true.
apart,
You're right.
you know what
You're
I'm saying?
right.
But all of these things add up, and all
right?
of these things take away from the football that is being played on the field. You know, so yeah, I mean, if we want to get back to the old United, it's going to take a change at the absolute top, and that's facts.
Right.
But you got to look at what Arsenal have done. We brought in Trossard, Jorginho. Who did we bring in January?
Weghorst.
Workhorse.
Exactly. That's the difference. These guys are affecting games, but you got to remember, Arsenal they don't just rely on Saka. They get goals all throughout the team. We're just
That's
getting
true.
from reference.
But you also have to remember, in December, the Glazers said, we're not spending in January.
Yeah.
They had no plans to buy anyone. They were forced to because Martial got
Eriksen and the whole Sancho
That's the
thing.
only reason we
How
brought
much
it.
is Martial getting paid? 200 grand.
Martial's a
225
joker as well, man. He's a
How much?
joker, man. We could have done
225.
with him today.
25.
225.
225
Yeah.
a week.
More
Yeah.
than that.
He's
I think it's a bit
warming
more.
the physio room. We need to sell him quickly.
So question time. Who has any questions?
What
the
do
hell
you
just
guys
happened?
think of Jadon Sancho's future at this club? Does he have a
That's good
future?
question.
He's got a future.
Who
Sorry,
wants to
what
go
was the
first? Who
question?
wants to go first?
I'll go first. He's got a future. He's just bringing him back in slowly. I think today it wasn't the game for Sancho to come in. Like, with his confidence and what's happened, all you're gonna do is it's not. That game was not for Sancho. Anfield away, I would never start Sancho in a game like that.
Right.
Maybe
Wow.
bring him on, but I wouldn't
Not
start
now,
him.
anyway. Not now.
But just a bonus, a question on top of that. Do you think he's got the right work rate
Mentality.
and the mentality for this type of football?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
Ten Hag is all about high intensity possession.
To answer your
Yeah.
question,
For Dortmund.
I think that he has. I think he's got the skill set definitely to be a Ten Hag
Definitely
player.
skillful, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the skill set, and what he's done at Dortmund proves that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to question his mental ability. I don't think he's quite got the mentality yet. He's still young and it can
2
improve,
seasons.
but,
How long does it take to?
You gotta remember, he came in under Ollie. Like,
but that
that's not about-
doesn't. Let's not
Do you not
blame
think-
Ollie because
Yeah.
guys,
no,
let's
I'm
not
saying
blame.
like, he's
Let's not
coming-
blame. Yeah, but I don't
I'm
like
not
when
blaming
people.
him.
No.
I'm not
But
blaming
It's
him.
nothing to do with
let-
Ollie.
let-
One
let-
at a
let
time.
me-
One at a
let me
time. One at a
finish.
time. One at a
Let
Let
time.
me
Rich
finish.
finish,
Let
yeah.
me finish. The reason why I'm saying, because we can't keep on bringing up that Ollie excuse. Yes, he did come into chaos, but at the end of the day, he's been here for over 18 months. I don't know. And I'm a big Sancho. I'm a big Sancho fan. Everybody knows that. But I still question the mental aspects. You know, I've heard he's been turning up late sometimes to train, that type of thing. He was doing that at Dortmund. At United, you can't get away with that stuff. You know, you need to cope with the pressure. And whilst I still have faith in his ability of him, the mental aspect of the game needs to be improved. This week he was off ill again. You know, he's been off ill. Nobody knows.
Called it sick.
He's been off ill
Need the doctor,
twice.
Been eating too much cake.
He's been off ill twice in the past month. So look, I'm not saying
That's not
his
good.
ability. He's one of the most talented players that we have, and I'm
Yeah.
a big fan.
Did
of
you guys
Sancho.
know how good
But
this guy was
he's
at
retarded.
Dortmund? He really was skillful. He used
He
to
was
take
very
one
good.
on one
He's
on.
brilliant.
Very, very
He's
good.
brilliant.
Did he have the
Manchester
work rate
United.
at Dortmund?
Yes.
Was he really
Yes.
putting a shift in?
Yes,
Because I
he
haven't
was.
seen him do it much at Man
Dortmund are a
United.
great team
I
that's
used-
been set
So,
up properly.
Vim, just watch
Yeah.
a YouTube of Sancho
It's not-
Borussia Dortmund. You like,
I
did we get
I
sold a
used to
different
watch
version?
Dortmund because of Sancho, Vim. And
Right.
Vim, to answer your
Yeah.
question, right? I've got German colleagues, yeah,
Yeah.
who are, you know, they only follow Bundesliga pretty much, and their words were Sancho is widely regarded as the best winger in the
Really?
German league.
The
So they
Bundesliga.
don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Why can't we
Imagine
see
that.
that at Man United? That's what I'm
Even
I
waiting
don't
for.
know. I
See
don't
when I
get
glimpses
it.
of it. You
What
see
you gotta
glimpses of it.
remember is a
Vim,
good player,
Yeah.
if they come into chaos, they're never gonna thrive. It's gonna take him time to get there. Like, tell me a club where a great player's gone in where it's been chaos and thrived.
But the
Doesn't
thing is,
happen.
right? Look, footballers put everything out on the pitch. When they go onto the pitch, they get into that zone, and you forget about the chaos around you. Forget about
Right.
what happened
Exactly.
before. When you play football, everything else doesn't
Not as
matter.
easy as that, Vim.
But Ole
but
wasn't
you
even
know,
playing
real
him.
ballers
Ole
do
wasn't
that.
playing him after all
You've
that.
got
not as
but
easy as that.
he's getting opportunity to be played now. He's being usurped by a £400,000 player in Garnacho. You know, he
but you gotta
needs to
remember,
work harder
Garnacho's
to
got
get
no
back to
pressure.
that.
Garnacho's come from the youth team. Garnacho's biggest season will be next season when people know about him. Whereas Sancho's come with big expectations already, so there's
Yeah.
pressure on him.
And he's never
Yeah.
met them.
No, he hasn't.
But he's coming to a bad team. Like this season's
But
the only
we
season.
have a good team now, right?
Yeah,
And there
yeah,
should be
but
competition
he's
for
been
every
off-
space.
he's been
He's
off
not
for
even
like 3
competing
months.
with Garnacho now.
Well, Ben,
Garnacho's got that.
He was away for almost 3 months. That's a long time to not play.
Why was he away?
No,
Mental issues. Mental issues.
Well, there
So
we go.
let me
man.
bring in
Mental
Louis.
issues.
Louis,
Look,
in
I
reference
think,
to Vim's question,
I
Sancho,
think
does he have a future
that
at United?
I think that what the biggest problem surrounding Sancho is kind of the biggest problem that surrounded a lot of the problems at Manchester United, which is the expectations that of the player when they come in, or the expectations of like a game like today. We expected to beat Liverpool because of where they sit in the league and then what happened against Real. The thing is, though, and people are about to look at me kind of sideways, though, the expectations that were placed on Sancho were unfair because of English bias, because he's an English player and they thought that, you know, he was going to come in and be in the English league and play amazing. And the fact that, yeah, he did some really, really good things at Dortmund in a German league. And I'm sorry, it's just not as big. It's not as competitive. It's not as intense. It's not as fast paced. He did great in the German league. I'm not saying that there's not competition in the German league. I'm saying it is well behind the English league and the Premier League.
And the expectations are not as high, basically.
And the expectations there. Look, he was a little bit, and you're right. He is a little bit more free at Dortmund in the way that they play.
Yeah.
You know, he gets to kind of be on the wing. He gets to, you know, have some panache and take players on 1v1 and these kinds of things. In a Ten Hag system, I don't think he can hang. I don't think he can handle it. And I think what Richard was saying is absolutely right. I think the skill set is there. I think he could do it. I don't think he can handle the pressures of stepping up and accepting that role and being that player. He's
deliver week in, week out.
To deliver week in, week out. Look, he's not the player that everybody thought he was, but I think that they thought he was that player because of where he's from and placed those expectations on him.
Yeah.
It's the reason he's not going off, he's not going off in the England squad either. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
I think that affected him big time.
When he came, he went under Ole. Wasn't given regular spec. Then he played under Ragnick. That was in and out. I think this is his best opportunity. Then he had the little issues whereby.
Exactly.
So
it's
it is a bit of instability.
But it was his time to thrive. It was his time to thrive. Third manager, and then he gets sent away to Netherlands, and a £400,000 player takes his place.
There's things that we don't know about it. Why
it's kind of sad. When you look at all the facts, it's kind of.
The way you saved him, that's just terrible.
So Kenneth, does he have a career at United?
Well,
can he hang? Can he hang in there?
Put it this way: if he doesn't get his act together under Ten Hag, then he won't. He'll be done basically
Finished.
because
Yeah.
ETH is the only. Well, I say only. It's probably one of the top 3 managers that can get the best out of him because ETH is great with all great at working with younger players, skilled young players. So yeah, Vim, just to add to your point, did you see that goal? Or just to answer your question, the goal that Adeyemi scored against Chelsea, did you see how he took?
The Sancho goal.
No, the Adeyemi goal.
Not Adeyemi.
Dortmund.
From the half.
No, I didn't
Brilliant.
see it. No, I didn't see
Brilliant
Oh,
it.
you
goal,
need to
yeah.
watch it. That's exactly how Sancho plays for Dortmund.
Yeah,
Like that.
but we're not
That's
seeing
how
it.
he
Look,
plays.
the thing is, right,
Just
we
one
need
less.
to sell some players to bring in the players that Ten Hag wants. He's 22 years old. I think we can get some good money for him. If it's not going to work out for him,
I wouldn't sell him.
it's not going to work out for this United,
For
and
me-
it doesn't look like it might.
I think one more
Unless he
season
kicks
is
in.
decided.
One more
Unless he kicks
season,
in.
yeah.
But for me,
We'll sell the
to
guy.
see the best out of Sancho, when you get a top striker, you'll see a different Sancho. You got to remember, like, he plays give and go, like, with
Well, he
Weghorst.
had
Yeah.
Haaland, didn't he? He had the best in the world.
You just need a top striker, because then he's
And
getting space.
there's not many available.
No, but
so
we're
we-
going to
we
get
may
one in
never
summer.
get one.
Hopefully, when we get bought, we'll get one in
What are
summer.
you talking
But
about? We're getting Harry Kane.
If we get,
Yeah,
let's get Harry Kane. No, on a
Oh
serious
God,
note.
no! I'm not.
Imagine
Harry...
that.
It is
Weghorst and
what it
Harry
is.
Kane.
Right,
side
any more
by side.
questions? Anyone got a question?
Yeah, not a question, but just from probably a comment or what I'd like to see happen after this. I think the only way, we can get over this defeat is for the boys to go out there and pick up another trophy. That's how, and make sure that we finish at least 3rd above Liverpool.
Right.
Because
I don't think we're dropping out of the top 4 for sure.
Yeah.
we have to win another trophy because in 5 years' time when people go. Yeah, but in 5 years' time when people go, when Liverpool fans go, we beat you for 7-0, you can turn around and say, look, what did you win? We won 2 trophies. That would be our comeback.
Today was your cup final. Today was the cup final.
Next season we just beat Liverpool 5-0. And
we can't do it. We
Guys,
can't
can
do
if
it.
we-
Old Trafford?
We can't be
we can if
Liverpool
we have the
5-0.
wealthy new owners.
5-0 at
Um,
Old Trafford?
No
that ain't
chance. Not even at Old Trafford. No way.
Even a bad Liverpool side?
Even
Nah,
a bad
far from
Liverpool
it.
side. No. You
Wow.
can't see. As long as Klopp is there, and unless they get Steven Gerrard as manager,
You
Then
gotta
we can do
remember,
it.
Klopp's
Then we
been
can.
there for a long time. He's been there, 7 years?
7 years now.
You
He
only
looks
do that if
tired,
you've got a
though.
manager that's been there like a first year. They'll make a rookie mistake.
yes,
You're not gonna
exactly.
get that
Yeah.
with you're not going to
No
get that
way.
with a seasoned manager.
No.
Doesn't
That's
he
why-
look kind of run down though, Klopp? He looks
Yeah,
tired.
he's
Well,
stressed, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's
That's what we
looks
thought.
tired.
This
until-
season has drained him, though. This season
That's
has
what we
drained him.
thought until
drained.
today.
He looks
That's what we
drained.
thought until today.
Yeah. Any more questions? Oh, yeah. So, I mean, like you said, Rick, the only way United fans and United could bounce back is win another trophy.
I
We
don't-
have
I don't
to.
think-
So
I
we
think that's a lot
we
of
can
pressure.
bounce back in the next game. We just go and win the next couple of games. We'll
Guys,
be
Yeah,
all
we've got Real
No,
Betis and
guys,
Southampton
we lost
back-to-back.
7-0 to Liverpool.
That's all right.
We lost.
We can
It's
forget
not
about it.
all right. No, it's not.
We got beaten 6-1 by
It's
City.
not all right,
We got
but what he's
hammered
saying is
by
that you look Ten Hag's whole thing. When everybody asks him about, when people ask him about losses, when people ask him about title races and trophies and this and that, he says the same thing every time, which is we focus on the next one.
Yeah.
We focus on the next one. You
Yeah,
have
but-
to
dwelling on
No,
this.
look, that is not to say that people shouldn't have their asses handed to them and they should be torn apart and that they shouldn't hit the training ground this week extremely freaking hard. Like you don't just it's not just a one-off.
It's Liverpool, though. This is not.
But
This
it
is
takes
That's what
a
I'm
toll.
saying.
But
I
you,
It's
think-
Liverpool.
Do you
but
remember that time? Do you
There's
remember
nothing
that
you
time?
can do about this game now, and that's
Yeah, you can't do it.
that's the reality
Do you
of the
remember-
situation. You
remember
have
the
to
time we-
Hold on. Let Louis finish. Go on, Louis.
you have to go into the next game and you make changes.
Right.
You don't you make changes, you prepare better. It's the only way that you can go forward, and it's the only way that you can bounce back and have a successful season next year if you want to go off on a title race or do well in the Champions League and these kinds of things. It's you can't just. It is a horrible game, but you can't crumble now between
Yeah,
now and the end of the
No,
season.
absolutely
not.
No.
So
Absolutely not.
So, Vim, go
a
on,
good
Vim.
medicine for this is that I think there was a time we got beaten quite badly at Anfield a couple of seasons ago, and then we went back the next season and we thrashed them. maybe not. It wasn't a big margin like this. So a good medicine for this, good treatment is that you go back and you go and undo all this damage that they've done to us. Or when they come, have we played them yet?
Yeah, we beat them 2-1 in the first game. 2-1.
Right. Okay. So
yeah.
So next season we've just got to step up with them. The team has to be better prepared, and we need to give them a good thumping, and that'll be a nice comeback. But we just go and win the next couple of games and we're back to normal again.
It takes a lot to recover.
You can recover. You recover. Just,
no.
We
as fans,
put it behind you.
The footballers, they're getting paid. Mate,
we
as fans, right?
Do you think
That's what I'm saying.
Fans
Exactly, Tim. You just hit the nail on the head. We as fans,
we're
gonna have to live this.
It stays with you
for years. Anthony's probably going to move on. This player Casemiro, they're all going to move on.
Yeah.
We're going to be here, taking it from Liverpool fans and all that. So we need to come back.
Did you see
just gotta have thicker skin.
Did you see
forget the Liverpool fans.
I've
got Arsenal fans humiliating me.
So
sending me pictures saying 7-0 with Ten Hag's bald head as the 0.
Yeah, but we beat Arsenal 8-2.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
seen that one.
Arsenal fans can sit there. When we beat them 8-2, happened.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, people forget about the scorelines. It's when you win trophies. What are Liverpool going to win this season? Nothing. They can hang on.
Exactly.
It's true.
That's why we need one more.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
One more trophy.
If we can get 2, that just shuts them up. Because you say, look, 2.
I think
it's
what
possible.
Liverpool did today was let us realize we're not there yet.
Mm.
I think we got overconfident. I think
yes,
we're looking at Real Madrid like, oh, these guys, they're going to crumble at home. But
this
this game to Liverpool meant a lot because of the rivalry. They were ready to bring us down. Like I said, this was their way of saying, we're going to make sure that faint title hope, we're going to end it today. And they did it. But I think the cowardly, defensive-minded United players, I think the players literally disappointed everyone today. I think the players need to be held accountable. Like, that was unacceptable on all levels.
Did you notice something, though?
No one expected Liverpool to win today. There was no pressure on them.
Yeah, people were thinking...
That was the biggest problem.
Even the bookies thought Man United would win. But did you notice something,
though? No one thought Liverpool were going to win today.
Bookies thought Man United would win. But one thing I noticed, right, was that even when Liverpool were completely dominating us, they did not take their foot off the pedal. They kept going at us. Whereas City, when they thrashed us last season, I don't know what was it, 3-0, 4-0. They took their foot off the pedal in the second half and they just held back and just coasted and just passed us to death. They didn't kill us. They didn't torture us.
These guys wanted to humiliate us.
Liverpool wanted to humiliate
us. Yeah, they wanted
because they're going for the top 4. They don't know if goal difference is going to play a part. That's why they can't.
No, but they when Liverpool beat us,
I don't think it's goal difference.
It's not goal difference.
It's not goal difference. It's
it's humiliation.
It's just humiliation. Because
did you see
Klopp's press conferences?
They're all laughing. They're all laughing.
They would have rotated because they're playing Real Madrid next week. They're going for that goal difference.
This rivalry is deep.
I think it's a rivalry.
Deep,
I agree with you.
This rivalry is deep. They wanted to humiliate us.
It's more of a humiliation. Did you see Klopp's pre-match press conference? You could tell he was rattled by all the praise that United were getting. No.
Even Henderson said it after the game. He was like, "Oh, they won a trophy. That couldn't, that didn't go.
They don't like
with
it.
us." Yeah.
And Trent said it. Trent said he couldn't watch us lift the trophy. They wanted to humiliate and humble us. So
that is what it is. Because if you guys remember, when we lost 5-0 at home on the Ole, Klopp actually told them to ease off because he wanted to. That was 5-0 at Old Trafford.
Why, Tim? Because they're going for the league. They're not going for the league
at that time. Yeah.
You have to remember, man.
They're rotating their best players. They'll take
man. It's because United lifted the trophy last week. They wanted to knock us back to reality.
You think if Arsenal are beating us 5-0, they're keeping on Saka, they're keeping on all their best players. They're taking them off.
Agreed.
They've won the game already. They don't need to. You get injured, that could be your season done if one of your best players comes off.
What you're forgetting also, though, man, is...
They're not going to beat Madrid. I think they just wanted to humiliate.
I think they're done. They're out of that one. This is not going to change anything.
Not going to beat Madrid.
Yeah, I can't wait for that Madrid game so I can get back to my Liverpool fans.
If that Madrid game was 0-0, but Richard, if that Madrid game was 0-0 or close, they would have definitely took players off.
Maybe.
Yeah, they probably would. They probably would.
Has anyone
Yeah,
heard
probably
from
would.
Jimmy Carragher today? How is he going? He's all laughing
Oh,
at me.
he's having a great time.
He's
The worst was
having
Souness
time of his
saying that we've
life.
not been good. We've not been that good this season,
Yeah.
despite us not being beaten for God knows how long. You know,
20, was it 24 games or something
something
like that?
crazy. Yeah, he says we've not been that good. So Graham Souness will love this today, this result. But at the end of the day, it couldn't have happened against the worst team than Liverpool.
I know, right? I know,
if
right?
it was another team,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it
could
wouldn't
just
be.
about stomach
I
it.
would take this
Yeah.
7-0 from Watford, Birmingham, Brighton.
I'm telling
But
you.
Liverpool, Jesus. It just hurts. It
Watford,
hurts
you
more.
know.
Yeah, because there's no Watford fans to banter you. There's no
Yeah,
I
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there's no
The,
Watford
the,
fans.
the whole league will banter you. It's only Liverpool
Yeah,
fans that will banter.
nah, but this one cuts deep
They
because
can
Because
take
they
that
cut
7-0.
deep.
This one cuts deep.
no,
Cuts
yeah, it's
very
worse.
deep.
It's worse,
It does,
K,
it
because
does. But
because
it's
these are
nice
the
that they're not
rivals.
going to win. It's nice that they're not going to win nothing this season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
That's
That's what I
great.
said to my mates.
But it's
They were
still the
saying stuff in the
7. It's
group.
the 7.
Yeah, but Tim, do you get anything for winning 7-0? Do you get a
Nothing.
trophy?
No.
No, but
No.
do you know another thing
It's
why
the
it's bad
pride.
because
It's
it's
pride.
the history. This was
history.
today.
He made
Because
Yeah,
history.
but in the,
it was a record that was broken.
but in the
I
history
think
books,
it's-
they'll say we won the cup, the Carabao Cup. I'd rather have the Carabao Cup than the
Yeah,
7-0.
but they come back to that
Yeah.
case. They'll say Mickey Mouse Cup. That's why I
Doesn't
want us to
matter.
win.
They'd love to
That's
be
why I want
winning
us to
that.
win.
Yeah,
why I
they
wanna
won
see
it
the
last.
FA
Didn't they win it last season? Yeah,
They
did.
won how many
Against Chelsea.
finals? They didn't even
Yeah.
score. It was
They
penalty
beat
shootout.
Chelsea twice in the 2 finals last
In
season,
penalty
FA and
shootout.
Carabao Cup. So they could
But
go F
Tim,
off.
on penalty shootouts, they couldn't
Yeah.
even score a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
they
go
beat Chelsea
back
on 2
anyway,
penalty shootouts.
we
Yeah.
haven't been beating Liverpool since 2016. That's the last time we beat them at
At
Anfield.
Anfield.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Oh, that
that's
long?
a long time.
I didn't know
That's
it was that
when
long.
that's when what's his name, Louis Van Gaal, isn't it? When we was that what is it?
Was that?
no,
No,
the
No,
one
it
that
can't be.
Rooney
Well,
Lingard.
that's the
Yeah,
one
the one.
since then.
Yeah, it's
Rooney
Lingard.
scored.
Yeah,
No, it's Rooney.
Lingard. It was
It was
Lingard. It was
Rooney, 1-0.
Lingard.
It was Rooney.
No,
1-0.
that's a long time ago. It was
That's
Lingard.
a long time.
2016.
Now you thinking because what of the one Mata scored? What year? What's
That
who
was
was that?
2-1. Mata was 2-1.
Yeah,
So we haven't beaten them at Anfield since then.
2016. I'm sure it's 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, we've not
That's
beaten them
7
for
years
years.
ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
It's not a joke going Anfield. That's what I said to people. It's not a joke going there. The man is the worst thing, but Ten Hag was naive.
no,
to
yeah,
go
I'm
man-
right. It's Lingard. Yeah, Jesse Lingard is the only United player to score at Anfield since that win in 2016.
Was it not
Damn.
Rooney?
Oh no,
1-0?
that was a defeat, a 3-1 defeat by
Yeah, we
Jose.
lost.
But
It
we
was
lost.
Rooney
Yeah,
that won 1-0.
Yeah, wasn't that when Ole go? That's when they fired Mourinho.
yeah, that's when they fight. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We got that was like Christmas time.
Oh, I can't even.
Yeah.
This is so bad. We can't even remember when we lost.
That's what I'm saying. 2016 is the last time we beat them.
Wow.
Bad.
1-0. Rooney
The-
1-0.
I think
Yeah.
the worst part about this is, and what I think what they're saying is, this outside of England, like in the entire world, this is the most watched English
game.
football game. This is
Yeah.
the biggest game in England.
biggest
It's
rivalry.
Manchester United versus
It
Liverpool
is
because of the worldwide viewership, the size of each fan. Liverpool
the
has
two
a
biggest
massive
club
fan
in England.
It's
Yeah,
not as
They're the
big
two
as
biggest
Manchester
clubs in England.
United's fan base, but it's absolutely massive. And this is a massive, massive rivalry. It's one of the oldest in England. It matters. It
And what they'll
matters
remember
in a
is
very,
7-0.
very big way. And you know, yeah, maybe they would have taken a couple players off if they had to play Real Madrid in a game that they could possibly win, but that they would still be throttled down. They would still be trying to score as many goals as they possibly can because it is this game. They look a game like this will keep Klopp in his job. That's what it is. Like
Klopp's got free credit.
he could finish outside of Europe, could finish 8th place and be like, yo, but I beat Manchester United on the day that we have the
I don't
absolute
think Klopp would
most
say that.
worldwide viewership. And they'd be like, good point. You know, like this is
No.
You're right.
So,
Louis is right.
see,
Louis is right.
At 3-0,
Yeah.
I could have
You think
said,
Klopp will
okay,
say
I'll
that?
take 3-0. And we try and get a consolation 3-1. But 4, 5, 6, and 7, it's just like
7.
this will
I
go
mean,
down.
players like Casemiro, doubt he's played in a game where he's lost by more than 4 goals or something.
I
like
know,
that.
right? Alvaron.
We literally messed up like top players' CVs today. But
Yeah.
that's what it's constant. Like players like Varane, you know, Casemiro, all these players. I don't think they've considered
Both
more
players
than
that
lost
did
by
not have a
4.
good day. They did not play well today. Varane and Casemiro.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Martinez today? Was he?
He got
good.
exposed,
He was
man.
extremely
Well,
off.
remember against West
He-
Ham
he-
what Antonio did to him? He's been like
It's
this
a
the last few games.
Tim, that's a very, very good
He's
question.
been shaky the last few
And
games. man.
Rich, I'm going to bring you in here as well because I think, and in fact, I'm going to bring everyone in. I think with Martinez, when he has a good game, he has a very good game. But when he makes one mistake,
Yeah, it's shaky.
he goes downhill.
That's
Yeah.
I don't know.
inaccurate. I don't think that's
Brentford.
inaccurate.
Brentford. Happened in Brentford.
Okay.
It's been a while though, you know.
City.
Like
That's the
this-
thing. Like you
yeah,
have to
but
look at
this was like
you have to look at the
start
last.
of
You have to
season.
look at the last 18 of 22 games that.
No, that's what I'm saying. When there's no
No, but
mistake,
I'm
it's
saying,
great.
like,
It's
we-
fantastic.
We have won games where we have gone behind, and Martinez has been on the field in those
No, I
games.
mean when he makes a mistake. You know when Salah left him on the floor, he was.
Yeah, that
That's
was
why Ten Hag
embarrassing.
took him. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
After
Though.
that,
He's
his head
he's
was
made
gone.
mistakes before, and we've still won those games, and he still had good games.
Yeah,
Martinez
just
is
think-
not one that falls apart. No, I don't.
I think it's just a freak result, guys. You know, nobody saw 7-0 coming.
No
but
one saw. I don't even think Liverpool knew they're going to be at 7-0.
Martinez was bad. Varane was bad. The whole defense
They
was
were all
bad.
bad.
So
The entire
can't
backfield
pick
was
up.
bad.
Yeah.
So was there? So, Louis, on a scale of 1 to 10, United's performance today, just the result, the score.
Just the
Yo-
score on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna have to say negative 1,875.
I thought Ben's was bad. You went. All right, Richard.
There's a little Easter egg in that number. Let's see.
Yeah.
Richard.
Yeah.
Man, on a scale of 1 to 10 performance today.
Unclassified. They don't get a score.
Classified.
So this is going to be regarded as an X-File. Remember that movie, The X-Files?
Yeah, they don't deserve a score.
Wow.
Richard. I mean, Ken.
Oh, yeah. It's what is it's the lowest number I can give them. It's definitely minus something.
Minus infinity.
Minus infinity. Yeah.
Yeah, is negative infinity a real number? Can we give that?
Damn. K.
You know what? It's not as bad as you got to remember. It was 1-0 at half time.
Right.
We conceded 6 in one
That's
half.
what makes
No.
it worse.
K. We're talking
That's
about
what
the
makes it
outcome.
worse.
The
It was
outcome.
1-0 at
What
half.
was the
No, but
overall
you're saying the
score?
whole game.
Exactly. The
Overall
outcome.
makes
score,
it
mate.
game.
It was 7. Whether
Yeah,
we
but that's what
scored
I'm trying to
considered
say.
1 in
Look
the
at your
first half.
background. Look at your background, K. What does it say?
Yeah, I know, but the 7 makes it. That's what makes it worse. It was 6, but you got to remember.
You do not get brownie points for the first half if you.
No.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not giving
brownie.
brownie points. I'm just
You don't
saying.
get no brownie points.
just
You don't
saying
get
the
no
score-
gold stars, no participation trophies here, homie.
Louis, I'm not saying you get any gold stars. I'm saying the first half. You got to remember, we're forgetting the first half. We were in the game.
Okay.
So for me, I won't go to minus. I'd say a 2. We
2 out of
capitulated.
10.
-2, fair.
Yeah,
Hey.
2.
No, he's saying +2.
Okay,
You just
No,
lost
you
to your
don't
biggest
get- you don't
rival.
get
You just
brownie
lost
points for
7-0.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
2
lost
for me.
7-0 to your biggest rivals.
Would
Kay,
we
and
ever
you're giving
get
them
a
a 2.
two?
There's 6 in one half. 6? Nah,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
To me, it's a -50. Straight up.
Nah, I'm not going
Absolutely.
We're getting too emotional.
Absolutely.
No, but that's
That
How's
is
it
what we're
emotional? We
fans.
lost
It's
7-0,
emotional
mate.
because we have to go out there.
Yeah, but
And
2 is
listen
a stinker. 2 is a stinker as a team.
No,
Two
Kay,
is a
your
stinker.
manager said
We lost
me-
that
let
your,
me-
7-0.
Let me
Kay,
put
your,
it to you
man,
this
your
way.
manager said that your players were unprofessional. Do you know what that
Unprofessional,
means?
yeah, I know.
Unprofessional means that
I'm just not good enough, mate.
They threw in the towel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
and
me
2
ask-
at
let me ask
3-0
you
they
this.
shut down. The head
Would-
dropped at 3-0.
Yeah, but there's some culprits that threw in the towel and that got taken off, if you know what I mean. Like,
Let me ask you this. Would you be okay? Would you be okay with Ten Hag going into the locker room after that game, putting his hand, putting his arm around Varane and saying, "Hey, you let in 7
good
goals.
first
But in
half.
the first half, man, you made some really good
but
tackles."
no manager would do that at 2. If you give a player a 2, they're not putting their arm on your shoulder. Even if
That's the thing, though. Like,
It's
just
average.
giving them a 2
average.
is
Even if
But
you
that's
get
what
a
I'm
6,
saying.
a manager's not going to come and put his arm on his shoulder. 6 is average.
Giving someone a 2 means that you giving them anything above 0 means that they deserve.
No. For me, anything below a 5, you're getting dragged. The only reason a lot of those players don't get taken off is because you can only make 5 subs. Right. Or they would have all been taken off.
That's facts. That's facts.
They were all terrible.
So hopefully they can rise from this. But we as fans, it takes to because we have to hear it from the Arsenal fans and the Liverpool fans. That's the double pain. All day my phone has been going on. Goal number 4, goal number 5, and it's Arsenal fans. It's got nothing to do with them. But they said, "I told you you're not going to catch us." Hey, this is what is happening. With social media, it's going live today. It's just,
I'm switching off everything, man. Switching off all the sports channels, social media till Thursday. I'm not looking at anything.
It's literally big sporting news. ESPN, Man United destroyed by 7-0 by Liverpool. You watch the papers, UK papers tomorrow. You see the headlines already. I mean, it's already printed out for tomorrow. It's embarrassing. Ten Hag schooled by Klopp. All that. It's too much. Because we were tortured. We were tormented, mate.
Well, it'll soon be forgotten. As long as we put it
right. It's not going to be forgotten, man.
As soon as we put it right against Real Betis, people ain't going to be talking. You think they're going to be talking about 7-0 every week?
We will. We will
definitely talk about it.
Let me put it to you this way, man. UEFA could decide that Man City's punishment for all their financial fair play rules is having to switch places with United, Champions League and Europa League. We could go on, win that Champions League, and people would still be like, but you lost 7-0 to Liverpool.
Do we still talk about Arsenal?
About this for a minute.
That's how deep that score is.
Do we still talk about the Arsenal 8-2? Do we still talk about the Arsenal? When was the last time we talked about the Arsenal 8-2?
In other groups, I spoke about it today.
That's a highlight that constantly makes the rounds.
We were winning the league. Why am I talking about beating Arsenal 8-2? We won the league.
Yeah, but a lot of United fans still talk about 8-2.
Yeah, a lot of United fans still talk about 8-2.
As long as we're winning trophies, I don't care about
that's you.
It's like
but that's you. But a lot of fans will.
But that's what I'm saying. You're talking about it. I don't talk about a result as long as we win things.
Yeah, but the 7-0 thing.
Yeah,
but Kay, you said it'll soon be forgotten about. Betis is not gonna. People are not gonna be forgotten easily.
Okay. Most United fans haven't even forgotten the 5-0 we got thrashed by Liverpool at Old Trafford.
Liverpool, yes.
That was a history on its own. This is double. Considering they beat us home and away last season, 4-0 and man, please.
It's so bad.
One of the
first things... You know what would have made it worse? If Liverpool were top of the league and going to win the league, that would have been even worse.
Yeah, I get it.
No, it would have been worse.
Bad for me.
It would have been worse if they were fighting relegation.
Yeah, but even it doesn't matter.
To me,
they're our biggest rivals.
Yeah,
Tim said at the beginning when he came on.
Think about if they were top of the league and they beat us 7-0. How you?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay, I see what I mean.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to show my face if they were top of the league and they would have like, the season we won the trophy, we beat you 7-0. That is a disgrace. Even though
that's the thing, man. They have nothing else to hold on to, right? Exactly. They're winning nothing this season. So the thing that they're going to talk about for the next 5 years, because I don't think they're winning anything big anytime soon, is, hey, remember that time that we beat you 7-0?
7-0. That's why we need to win another trophy so that we can come back and say we won 2. Do you know what I mean? We won 3.
When we started today, Tim came on and the first thing he talked about was the Brazil-Germany 7-1 game, right?
Yeah.
People remember especially drastic scorelines.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what we win.
This one stands out like a sore thumb. Every United fan will remember that Ole game we got beaten 5-0 and Klopp told them to ease off after 5. That could have gone to 8 easily.
It could have been.
Maguire and Lindelof messing up and all that. But today, we would have felt like we have moved on from those kind of horrendous results.
That's the worrying thing.
We lost to Brentford 4. This is 7, bro.
We took 6 against City.
Six against City.
as well.
At least we
In
got.
the midst
season,
of our
like
rebuild.
Ken was saying, the 6-3 in the season. This isn't not happened before. They've still got that little bit of a weak mentality in the
Yes,
team.
yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, it's true.
Still
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I agree.
Still there.
And Klopp, and then thinking, what's his name? Ten Hag's always said, this is the process. We're not fully where we need to be.
Right.
That's, by the way,
Should we?
by the way,
Tim,
we're playing and the players we've got. We're nowhere near the finish line.
Tim, should we rate Ten Hag then, as well?
For today's game,
Yeah. Do you want to ask
on a scale of
people
1
what
to
they
10,
think?
Louis, what would you give Ten Hag? The tactics, substitution, and selection of the teams
-4.
Wow.
Richard.
He got everything wrong. He got everything wrong today. And I still back him as a manager. But he let his emotions make the decisions during the game, and that just made it worse. And he didn't properly prepare for the game, which ultimately led to the result. It was a bad day for our beloved manager, Ten Hag.
He will learn. I mean, he will learn. He will learn.
He will.
He's never been to Anfield. He will know that you don't go to Anfield.
He's been there with
all guns
Ajax, though.
blazing.
He's been there with Ajax, I think.
They're a fully functioning team, though, when he was there.
But he still got thrashed.
I'd give Ten Hag again a 0 probably. I think after 3-0, he should have just like parked the bus.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think it was all on him. It was down, a lot of it was down to the players. Yeah, a lot of it was down to the players. But
100%.
after 3-0, he should have just shut up shop and said, "Look, you know, we're not winning today. Let's just try and keep the scoreline down." And he didn't really do that. So yeah, I think he gets a 0.
Ken.
-10.
-10. -10 for Ten Hag.
Yes,
10,
that's it. 10 for Ten Hag. Yeah, because the lineup. I mean, this game was calling out for AWB, man. I mean,
That's what I've always said.
with AWB, when you're away from home, especially against the teams in the top 6, you have to play him because he's one of those guys that you know he's not going to get forward too much. Yeah, he will keep his position and he will lock things off. Look, where was Dallo for that first goal just before halftime?
He got caught out.
If AWB was there,
that's the thing, though.
If AWB was there,
I think he still struggles there. I think
but AWB
defensively,
positionally, he does not. He won't wander off. He will wander off, and he keeps his position. Going forward, he's not great. He's not the best.
Do you think if Anthony had helped a bit more, Dallo would have been as exposed?
100%.
Because Anthony was always, it never comes back.
They were overloading. They were overloading the width on purpose because they knew that
Anthony wasn't going to drop back.
and Anthony are not going to drop back. They overloaded those players. I'm not saying that Dalot did well by any stretch of the imagination, but But to say that he was completely lost, he was pressuring. He was pressuring players higher up the field and then getting overlapped by the fullback. You know, when that overlap happens, Marcus Rashford does it all the time. He sprints down, burns down that player. You can't expect a Bruno or an Anthony to do that. They should cover that overlap, especially you know you can't leave the fullback alone like that. They were being overloaded, and Ten Hag did not make the adjustment as the manager, and the forwards did not make the adjustment, and that's all she wrote. You know?
So
I don't think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is any less overrun if he's being double teamed and
he doesn't get overrun.
And the
rarely, even when he's double teamed, he rarely gets exposed that much. Like Dallo was getting exposed to. But anyway, I
think it also depends on the team we're playing. I think Wan-Bissaka. I mean, the one that sticks to me, if you remember, was RB Leipzig when we considered 3 in 5 minutes.
This year we're on a bit. This year.
Not this. I mean, I get it. You know, and that was under Ole. I get it, but it is what it is, man.
So I was just saying the reason I gave him -10 as well is if you look at Fergie, when Fergie goes to Anfield, he packed like the midfield. He parked like the midfield is packed. Do you know what I mean? It's packed. Like you play 5 in midfield, 1 up top, soak up the pressure, hit them on the break.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Sabitzer there. You could have played Sabitzer Sabitzer, what's his name, Fred and Casemiro as a three-man midfield, you know, just to keep it tight. Because Sabitzer, he's very, very mobile, very physical. He can get into the group. Him and Fred can do the dirty work, and that will allow Casemiro, because obviously he wasn't feeling great today, to at least get the ball and pass the ball like he's, you know, that would have helped. But to go to Anfield with two midfielders, I think was just, yeah, it wasn't.
I don't know what
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking. Did he think Liverpool were just
like? How can
To
you
be
go to
fair,
Anfield
the
and play
first half-
two
To be
midfield?
fair, in
It's
the
just
first half, we almost scored. So I can see
the Bruno
why he went
header
with it.
from a Dalot cross
And then Rashford.
Yeah, almost though.
and
That's
Rashford
So I think
and
that's what his thinking was. He was thinking, oh, we've had the better chances, but then they hit us on the sucker punch, and yeah.
the second
changes
goal
he
came
made-
so quick. The second goal came too quick.
Yeah. And then McTominay came on, got booked straight away.
Mm.
You can't take McTominay off again. And then Garnacho came off. Garnacho's not defensive. It just opened up the game massively. But I can see
Garnacho
why-
was shocking
I can
when
see
he
why
came
did
on
it.
though.
He wants to rest
Garnacho was
players.
Yeah, it was not good.
rubbish.
He was not good.
I mean, there's not
Right.
much.
Ball
There's
away.
not much there for him to do, honestly. when
Not
it comes
much.
to-
It was an overall bad. This is, to me, I don't think this is a bad day of the office. This was just the players they just folded. 3-0, they just folded.
The whole team, though. It was
The whole team was just poor overall.
Normally you have one or two bad players.
The
Mm.
whole team,
Anfield,
the
even
defense
if
was
you've got
all
one
over the
player
place.
playing- yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
it was
afford
sure.
to have 10 bad players at Anfield.
I mean,
Maybe
could
one
Delay,
player.
could the guy have done better that Salah shot? I don't know. I think so. When it already gone past.
The crossbar one.
Yeah,
Nah, he's getting nowhere near that.
Salah destroyed that ball, man.
Yeah.
I know, right?
He destroyed that ball. He put his soul through that ball.
Yeah, he took the leg. He
Smashed
took that
it.
ball the
Smashed
lazy. He
it.
smashed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It
I
is
don't,
what
I
it
don't
is.
know if you can save
So,
that.
right.
That was deadly.
Predictions against Betis. Louis, start. What's our predicted score for that game?
Oh man, 8-0 loss. No, I'm just playing.
That will be we United fan will need cancelling after that one.
Look, man, it's this is where it really comes down to Ten Hag. I think I fully trust him to be the man to turn this team around and get it towards its glory days. And setbacks like this in a rebuild are going to happen. I didn't think no one thought that it was going to happen this badly. We knew we were going to lose games, but it's on Ten Hag now to go, look, we can still do work in the Europa League. We can still do work in the FA Cup. You know, we have to hit the training ground hard. I would like to see us just have a positive result. If we get out of that one with a 2-1 win, I'm happy.
Richard, Real Betis.
We're at home, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah, 2-1. 2-1.
Because away goals don't count anymore, so it doesn't matter anymore.
No.
These days.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nah.
Just go win. Just win.
I think we'll get 2 goals.
Go get a result.
Kenneth.
Yeah, keep your eyes on easy. I'll say 2-0 United.
Okay.
They drew with Real Madrid the other day, yesterday, didn't they? 0-0. So I think
That's true.
it'll be a tough game, but I think with Ten Hag will want a response. They'll get a punishment tomorrow of some sort. Probably run them into the ground. So I think we'll beat them 2-0. We'll beat them 2-0.
Well, I think after today's game, I think United need to refund I think they need to do something. Those away fans need
The
some
fans that way,
compensation.
yes.
That
yes,
was
yes,
just
yes.
that was unfair, mate. Seriously.
And they
You
all
know,
left. They all left.
could
with the
you
same
I don't know
information.
if anyone's been to Anfield. It's a long walk out the stadium. And come on,
Yeah, I've been to
facing Liverpool
Anfield.
fans, those guys might need cancelling. The fans who went there. It's gonna be hard. At Merseyside. Ooh, I'm
That's
glad
the
I
thing I was
wasn't there.
going to say, Tim. At the end, Varane, some players were trying to walk down the tunnel. Steve
Varane tried
McLaren
to-
and
what to
Varane
clap.
was like telling the players, come out and go and applaud the fans. That's
Yeah,
what I was doing.
that's good. They're
Mm.
trying to hide the
That's
shame.
what I'm saying about his leadership. Bruno weren't doing that. They were all going down the tunnel. Right? That's why I was saying Varane is a leader. Like for him to go and say that, he's not the sort of player you would expect to do that either.
Mm.
He doesn't come across like that.
But
so.
that's common. But isn't that common sense? But obviously, common sense.
Yeah,
is
it's common sense.
You've just been humiliated.
Yeah.
Because I saw the fans start to leave after the 5th or 6th.
But
Yeah.
Tim, under Ollie, they were walking down the tunnel most games last season. And the fans were going mad, saying, "Look, you can't even clap the fans." That was almost normal last season. Whereas the mentality is shifting now. Like you lose, you go and face up to the
Exactly.
fans.
Thank you for supporting us because
Yeah.
oh Jesus,
Yeah.
this is gonna take a lot to forget 7-0. I'll tell you, bro. Yeah, we move on, but mentally we.
Mentally, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
telling you, bro. I was talking to a friend who's a Brazilian fan. He said that 7-1 against Germany. He said till this day, it's told as a story that one day we were.
You got to remember that was Brazil, Germany. That was in Brazil.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a lot different. It's a lot different.
No, it's not. It's the same.
Nah,
dude.
you got to remember Brazil were expected to win
kicked.
that.
Brazil, that was a Brazil World Cup hosted.
Yeah.
And to be
They were
thrashed by
expected to
Germany
win
7-1,
Yeah, that's different.
some of those players, people like Hawk, they were never the same again. They ended up in China.
It's true. Guys, I've got to go. But
All right, we're out anyway.
there.
We're out. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for this weekend. Unfortunately, ended in a bad. It is what it is, mate. United loses 7-0 to the greatest rivals in English football, Liverpool 7-0. But we as United fans still have to stand united and keep it moving. Louis, thank you for joining us. I want to thank the UK crew. I know it's late for you guys. Richard, Ken, and Kay, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you guys during the week, and we'll talk about it after the Betis game, and we'll take it from there. Guys, glory, Man United. See you guys on the next one.
Thanks.
Take care, guys.
See you later.
Don't forget to like it because you're on this video.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
guys. Thank you.
Cheers,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
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 Yes.